はい、皆さん、こんにちは、楽天オプティミズムカンファレンスに改めまして、ようこそいらっしゃいました。このセッションはですね、AirAsia の、CEO でありますトリン・フェルナンデスさんと進めさせていただきたいと思います。ここからは、英語で、進めさせていただきたいと思いますので、もし英語がわからない方がいらっしゃればヘッドセットの方を使っていただければというふうに思っております。So Tony, welcome to Optimism Conference.
Thank you for inviting me.
We have been friends for such a long time.
Yeah,
Do you remember when we met first?
I first met Mickey at something we were both passionate about, but not that successful at, football.
Football, soccer.
I met him at Man City in the UK when my team, QPR, was playing Man City. Either Man City became champions or we got relegated. So we didn't get relegated and Man City became champions, and the best thing, I became friends with Mickey. So it was a good day.
I'll explain in Japanese a little bit. So 一番最初に会ったのはですね、マンチェスターシティの、試合をマンチェスターまで見に行った時に、トニーは実は QPR というプレミアムリーグのチームを持ってるんですけども、彼がオーナーで隣に座ってて、そこで紹介されてですね、それからすごく友達になりまして、それからの仲であります。But and I was kind of ironic because I took a Virgin train from London to Manchester to watch the game, and now you moved from the music industry to airline. Is there any kind of co-relationship or something?
Well, my first job, or my second job, Richard Branson gave me in Virgin Music and then Virgin TV, and then he started his airline, which I thought was crazy. So I left and joined Warner Music. 12 years on, I had the idea to set up AirAsia, and in 2001 I bought AirAsia for 25 cents.
25 cents.
25 cents.
Yeah.
And with 2 planes and 200 staff and a dream, and the rest is history.
So he bought AirAsia at 25 cents, 25 セント. What kind of plane was that?
It was planes that flew, 2 737s.
Wow.
We had 200 staff, 200 terrified staff, because they had known me as someone in the music business, and now I was their owner of an airline, so they were very nervous. And we had 2 destinations, Kota Kinabalu and Kuching in East Malaysia.
So so you walk into the office the first day. What did you do?
I think
because this was kind
my
of
first
a
day was
shitty company, right?
Yeah. What I noticed was everyone, it was a small airline with 250 staff, but there were 6 different offices. Pilots were one gang, cabin crew were another, and it was incredibly dysfunctional. So the first thing I did was to close all the offices and move everyone into one place. And I said, we either win together or we fail together, but we'll be together. And it seems so logical to me, but most airlines always have a very complicated structure. So my first few weeks was about simplifying the business.
But it's kind of difficult to inspire the people who has been in a bad situation for such a long time, isn't it?
Not easy, but it can be done through a bit of pressure, through survival, and also bringing in new people. So I brought in a lot of people from the music business into AirAsia.
Yeah, we talk about the relationship with the music and aviation business, but let's just focus on did you have the vision of you became one of the biggest airlines in the world when you started the business?
I didn't have much money, and when we bought AirAsia, 3 days later was 9/11.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So I've had disasters all my life, and for me, it was about survival. I remember my first press interview. The press reporter said, "Will you be here in 3 months' time?" I said, "I don't know. Come back in 3 months' time and see whether we're here." So did I imagine we would grow in 18 years to become the 13th largest airline in the world, have 265 planes, and carry 100 million people? No. I just wanted to survive and make sure I paid my staff their salary every month.
Right. Did you get any inspiration from Richard Branson?
Richard?
I mean, he has been doing all this funky stuff for promoting his airline business, right?
Well, of course. I mean, Richard, similar to you, likes to disrupt, likes to prove people wrong. So yeah, of course, there was inspiration there. We're very similar. We like to party hard and have fun, and we're all humble. But we're also different. I mean, I have no interest in going to the moon. I mean, what would we do when we go to the moon, right? No bars, no alcohol. And so I'd rather stay on Earth and go to Roppongi and have a beer with you.
Don't disclose our secrets, okay?
Okay. There's only 5,000 people here.
Yeah, but now let's talk about the business model of LCC in general and AirAsia. How come you can make it so affordable, right? How much is that now AirAsia flying from like Nagoya to Kuala Lumpur? How much does it cost?
Well, we haven't started in Nagoya to Kuala Lumpur, but the cost will be about 120, 130 US dollars.
Round trip.
Round trip will be about 250.
250.
$250.
It is,
the average fare.
It is cheaper than going from Tokyo Station to Osaka Station by Shinkansen. It's cheaper.
It's cheaper than taking a taxi from Narita to Roppongi.
But how come you can do that? Right. How come?
How come? Wow.
基本的にはこれからなんですけども、名古屋からクアラルンプーまで行くと往復で3万円を切る値段ということです。
You know, the culture is probably the biggest thing.
Right.
In that we have now 22,000 staff, we have no unions, it's a very flat structure, people work well together. We're all looking at ways to reduce cost, be more efficient, and we find new ways of getting revenue.
Right.
We sell food, we sell financial products, and that all helps us in reducing the cost. Our model is about reducing fares and allowing more people to fly. Our tagline is, now everyone can fly. And so our motto is to keep pushing down fares.
Yeah.
And we have great airports like in Nagoya. They're helping us by building a low-cost terminal, reducing the airport tax. So we look at everything to reduce cost.
Right. And maybe some people are worried, if it's so cheap, is it safe enough? And can you explain that?
Yeah, I mean, I think no airline can guarantee 100% safety, but we're regulated by the same regulators as every airline. I mean, Japan, the JCAB is very strict, and we have the same procedures as any other airline. I suppose the best, I fly it all the time myself. So we do our best on safety. Low cost doesn't mean low quality. Low cost doesn't mean compromising on safety. Low cost just means highly efficient and removing costs that you may not need and giving you choice.
Right. And then maybe the simplicity is one of the most important factor for your business model, right? The not too many different types of the plane.
Correct.
And
well, we have bought 600 Airbuses. We only have one type of aircraft, the A320 family. And then on AirAsia X, we have only the A330. So simplicity is critical, simplicity of processes. When I started AirAsia, we only used the internet to sell. And that was quite radical 18 years ago. But that cut a lot of cost out. So we're continually looking at ways of keeping it simple. We always use the word KISS. Keep it simple, stupid.
Right.
And constantly try and keep it simple. I mean, I dressed up today.
Right.
This is an Optimism t-shirt.
Right.
And I try and keep things as simple as possible.
Yeah. And definitely your company has a very unique culture. In terms of the ethnicity or the sexuality, you are extremely diversified and willing to promote from inside. But it's very, very unique. Can you explain about the unique things you have done?
Yeah, I think our biggest success is our culture and the fact that we do things differently. Our biggest asset, most companies don't realize, their biggest asset is their people. And my job is to turn raw diamonds into diamonds. And when I started AirAsia, there were no female pilots. And I asked my chief pilot, why is there no female pilots? And he came up with the most ridiculous answer that can never be repeated in public. And I said, if a woman can run a country, she can certainly fly a plane. And so we now have 330 female pilots.
How many pilots altogether you have?
We have about 3,000.
10%
yeah.
is female.
As a percentage, we're one of the highest in the world, higher than any other American airline. And again, it seems so logical to me, why would we miss out 50% of the workforce? Then we've done things like, there are many people who left school early because of economic conditions, but they're smarter than me and have a much bigger brain. So we allow everyone to live their dreams. So we have people who were carrying bags for us, who are now pilots. We have cabin crew who are pilots. We have many staff who are engineers. We have a telephone operator who's a CEO. And we don't care what age.
Telephone operator is now
he used to work in
CEO?
Rakuten, and now he's a CEO. No, that's not true. He was manning our customer care service.
Really?
Yeah, but we thought he was super smart, and now he's a CEO in Singapore and runs also the CEO of Philippine operations.
Wow.
So we have tons of people like that, and we break the mold.
Right.
And we push people to live their dreams.
Right.
So I always tell this funny story. There was a cabin crew in Thailand, and she asked me, can I be a pilot? And we said, yeah, go for it. And then a few months later, and she passed to become to go into pilot school. And a few months later, she said to me, everyone says I'm really beautiful. Can I take part in Miss Thailand?
Right.
So I said, interesting concept. Okay. Provided if you win, I get to use your photograph for the rest of your life for free. So she took part in Miss Thailand, she won Miss Thailand, she took part in Miss Universe, and she came 5th in Miss Universe. And now she's back in AirAsia as a captain. So we're the only airline in the world with a Miss Thailand flying for them.
Oh my God.
They beat that Singapore Airlines.
Okay. You need to tell me the flight.
I know. But the moral of the story is because we have such a flat structure, anyone can aspire to do anything and live their dreams. And I think that's a real power we have in AirAsia.
Yeah, I can feel that. And then let's switch the topic and talk about tourism in general, and particularly potential of tourism business in Japan. Yeah. I remember when we first met, you asked me why Japan has so many fewer international inbound travelers, and it has to go over, like 50 million, 60 million. But can you share your thoughts and perspective about the Japanese tourism industry?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone wants to come to Japan. Has amazing culture, has amazing food, has amazing music, and amazing history. And even down to your family in Nagoya and all the samurais and stuff. That no other country has that kind of history. But for many years, Japan was an expensive place to come to. It was complicated to come to. So I'm thrilled, I think led by you and others, that the country is opening up to tourism. Now AirAsia, outside of AirAsia Japan, we bring in 1 million tourists. We're about to fly to Okinawa, which there's never been a flight between Southeast Asia and Okinawa. Nagoya and Fukuoka and everywhere. So I think tourism is a wonderful opportunity. Not only as a job creator, as an enabler. I think technology also benefits immensely from tourism. But there's subtle impacts of tourism in terms of business connectivity. People come as tourists. They see ideas. They want to do business together. They want to bring back products that they see, stuff like you have on Rakuten Mall, etc. So tourism has so many benefits, and Japan will only benefit by liberalizing and opening up more gateways. I really hope Tokyo opens up a new airport. I really hope Japan embraces low-cost travel, because there are many great airports around that are empty. And the low-cost tourism can bring tourism to areas that have never seen tourism. So what we've done in Southeast Asia, we can do in Japan. So most tourists come into Tokyo or Osaka, but there's so much more to see in Japan.
And I think people will spend less on the flight. Will spend more at the destination.
Correct.
Right?
I mean, generally we've seen even billionaires flying on AirAsia because of the convenience, and then they spend more when they reach their destination.
Right. So how now? Several years ago, the inbound number of inbound tourists to Japan was about 7-8 million. Now I think we're about to reach the 30 million.
Yeah.
What do you think will be the maximum?
Wow. You know, I mean, when I started AirAsia, my first year was 200,000 passengers. It's now 100 million. Japan is limitless. I mean, and there's so many exciting things happening. You've got the Rugby World Cup coming. You have the Olympics, you know, and I'm so committed to Japan that I moved in and I live now in Roppongi. From my apartment, you can see the Olympic Stadium, and Japan has become much more welcoming to tourists and much more affordable as well. So 60 million, 70 million is really achievable, because most of those tourists are coming into Tokyo and Osaka, and there's a lot more to see in Japan than just those two places.
So because of the AirAsia, because of the LCC, the travelers in Southeast Asia has dramatically increased, right? Like 4x, 5x?
At least 5 to 7x.
5 to 7x?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You know, really massive amounts, because we've made traveling affordable, and people, you know, when I started AirAsia, only 6% of Malaysians flew.
Right.
And now I think everyone can fly.
Okay.
So, and that's Thailand, Indonesia, etc. And actually, if you look at the statistics in Japan, a lot of people have never flown.
Right.
So there's a huge amount of tourism both ways.
Yeah. So I think the LCC domestically and the international LCC is going to be one of the key economic driver for the future of Japan. And we should take advantage of this really rich culture, rich natural travel, assets, and not only limited to urban areas such as Tokyo or Osaka.
Correct.
And then now the casino is going to take place in Japan.
Yep.
Maybe in Yokohama, who knows? And it is going to be very, very exciting for Asia.
I think it is. I mean, we're big believers in Japan. We obviously have AirAsia Japan as well, and we want to do more. This is an amazing country,
right.
and there's so much to see and do. So we, with other airlines, like to play our part.
Okay. And lastly, let's talk about now you're going back to the music business as well.
Yeah.
Is this kind of part of AirAsia business, or is it kind of Tony Fernandes?
Well, you know, I try and be a bit like you. You're in everything. This is one thing you don't do, so at least I'm ahead of you there. Everything else, I copy him. So music is in my blood. I've lived it. Actually, AirAsia X came from X-Japan.
Yes.
From Yoshiki.
Yeah. Yoshiki's going to perform tomorrow, so you need to come.
Yeah, I'll come and see him tomorrow.
Yeah.
Last time I saw him in LA. And so music is in my blood. Music unites people. And so, you know, I'm tired of listening to K-pop and BTS.
Well, your wife is Korean.
Yeah, I know. That's probably an extra reason not to listen to Korean music. And I hope we can develop something like A-pop, ASEAN pop with Thai, Indonesian, Malaysian singers.
J-pop too, no?
Yeah, and collaborate with Japanese. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe you'll be singing some karaoke songs from my label one day.
Yeah. Okay. And lastly, we're running out of time. So can you give your message to the audience we have today?
Well, I mean, I think, you know, I've been living in Japan for now about a year in Roppongi. I see so much change. I see so much excitement. I don't think you could have a better name for this conference. I think Japan should be really optimistic about the future. Open your eyes, open your minds. It's a great time to be alive. It's a great time to try new things. And take a leaf out of this man. He loves to challenge, he loves to disrupt, and dream big. You know, I started selling music, with 2 planes, and now I have 265 planes and carrying 100 million people. Miki has done the same. Japan is ready for more Mikitani-sans. And I hope you get a lot out of this conference and you help change the world. And we have a lot of fun, but only fly on AirAsia. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Well, let's explain about AirAsia Japan, which is kind of a joint project between you and me, right?
So can I tell the whole story?
Yeah, okay.
All right, so...
1 minute.
I met Miki in Manchester City. I had a partnership with another airline called ANA, but we were very different. They wore suits and I wore t-shirts like this. And I asked Miki whether he could help me with this relationship. But I think me and ANA were just very different. And so one night at a dinner, and it was really as simple as this, over a couple of beers and maybe some whiskeys, I said, Miki, why don't we start an airline together? And that was the birth of AirAsia Japan in Nagoya with 3 other partners. And so now we have our first relationship together as AirAsia Japan. We have a lot of plans, we have a lot of exciting things to do, and with the power of Rakuten, who knows what we can do, and hopefully change travel in Japan a little bit and bring more tourists and allow more of you to fly to see different parts of the world.
Fantastic. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you very much.
ありがとうございました。